What if the most profound betrayals, the most calculated cruelties you've ever faced were not obstacles to your life, but the very path itself? What if the person who tried to destroy you was, in fact, an unwitting architect of your strength? This is not a promise of comfort. This philosophy is not here to make you feel good. It is a blueprint to help you be good, which is the only foundation for a life that is, in fact, invincible. We live in an age of psychological warfare, waged quietly in offices and families and in our own minds. You have felt it, that cold, calculated cruelty, the sting of intentional damage. You have been hurt by someone and felt with chilling certainty that it was not a mistake, but a choice. Why do they do it? And more importantly, how do you endure it without becoming like them? Some will tell you this cruelty comes from a shadow, a hidden, dark force. But this framework, while poetic, is a trap. It mystifies the act, gives it a dark glamour, and centers the perpetrator. The ancient Stoics offered a diagnosis that is colder, clearer, and infinitely more practical. It returns the power entirely to you. By the end of our time together, you will possess the complete blueprint for an internal fortress, a mind that cannot under any circumstances be permanently damaged, manipulated, or controlled by another human being, no matter how intimately they know you or how skillfully they attack. We will build this fortress together, stone by stone, and I will share with you what I call the parable of the locked gate, a concept that, once understood, will change the way you see every interaction you ever have. But first, a necessary clarification. What we discuss here is philosophy, not therapy. It is a set of principles for strengthening the mind, forged over 2 millennia. It is not medical, legal, or individualized psychological advice. If you are in a situation involving serious harm or abuse, please seek guidance from qualified, licensed professionals. This is the forge, not the field hospital. We are here to heat the metal, to hammer it, to temper it, so that when you return to the world, you are stronger, sharper, and more resilient than before. Let us begin by dismantling the central myth, the myth of the powerful villain. When someone sets out to damage you, to devalue you, to spread contempt, to manipulate your reality, they are not acting from a place of strength. They are acting from a place of profound weakness. The Stoics taught that all vice, all cruelty, stems from one root cause: ignorance. Not a lack of information, but a deep, tragic ignorance of what is truly good and what is truly evil. When a person chooses to inflict pain, they do so because they have a corrupted judgment. They have mistaken an external power, reputation, control, envy for an internal good. They genuinely believe in that twisted moment that damaging you will somehow profit them. They are, as the Emperor Marcus Aurelius would say, pitiable. They have lost touch with their own logos, their own share of divine reason. They are the first and greatest victim of their own malice. Their shadow is not some dark romantic force. It is a profound sickness of the soul, a failure to understand their own nature. This is not an excuse for their behavior. It is a diagnosis, and it is the first key to your freedom. Why? Because it reframes the entire event. The attack is no longer a referendum on your worth. It is a confession of their confusion. Their contempt is a mirror, but it does not reflect you. It reflects the chaos, fear, and weakness raging inside them. When you understand this, the emotional charge of the event begins to drain. You are no longer a victim in their play. You are an observer of their tragedy. Now, let's talk about you. The event happens. The betrayal lands. The lie is told. You feel the hot sting of injustice, the cold dread of reality being twisted. This is the critical moment. This is the only moment that matters. The ancient Stoics built their entire system around a single, liberating truth, often called the dichotomy of control. In plain English, it means this: the world is divided into two categories, that which is up to us and that which is not. What is not up to us? Everything external. What other people say, what other people do. Whether they lie about you, whether they gaslight you, whether they devalue you. Your reputation is not up to you. Your job is not up to you. Even your own body, in the final analysis, is not fully up to you. It can get sick. It can be harmed. These things are indifference. They are the raw material of life, but they are not you. What is up to us? Only one thing. The Stoics called it prohairesis, your faculty of choice, your will, the ability to choose your response, the power to assent to an impression or to withhold assent. This is your only true property. It is the one thing no one, not a tyrant, not a manipulator, not a gaslighter, can ever take from you without your consent. It is your inner, inviolable fortress. When someone attempts to harm you, they are simply an external event. The harm itself, the damage, does not happen until you assent to a judgment about that event. The event: my partner lied to me. The judgment: my partner has ruined me. My life is over. I am worthless. The first is data. The second is a story you have chosen to tell yourself. The second is where all suffering resides. Let's make this real. Consider the case of a man, we'll call him Alex. Alex was a brilliant executive, defined entirely by his competence and his reputation. His entire sense of self was built on an external. A new rival, Marcus, joined the firm. Marcus was skilled in that quiet, insidious cruelty. He saw Alex's weakness, his attachment to his reputation. Marcus didn't attack Alex directly. He used what the source script calls instrumental thinking and shadow projection. He studied Alex. He learned his values. He knew Alex prided himself on integrity. So Marcus began to plant seeds of doubt, not lies, but twisted truths. Alex is so passionate. Sometimes I worry his judgment gets clouded. He's a brilliant guy, but he plays things so close to the chest it's hard to know what's really happening. He enlisted others, framing Alex's actions in the worst possible light. This is privilege destruction applied to the workplace. Marcus was using his privilege of observation to target Alex's emotional foundation. And what did Alex do? He made the fatal Stoic error. He assented to the narrative. He believed his worth was his reputation. He saw his reputation being attacked, and he judged, I am being destroyed. This judgment unleashed the passions, fear, rage, paranoia. He became reactive. He wrote angry emails. He became defensive in meetings. He confronted people. In his panic to save his reputation, he became the very thing Marcus had painted him as: unstable, emotional, and untrustworthy. Alex was fired 6 months later, but the job was not what he lost. He lost his tranquility. He lost his self-respect. He lost his mind. He had, in effect, handed the keys to his inner fortress to his greatest enemy, who then proceeded to burn it to the ground from the inside. Alex's downfall was not caused by Marcus. It was caused by Alex's judgment that Marcus had the power to harm him. This is a preventable downfall. The moment Alex equated his reputation and external with his character and internal, he was lost. He had built his house on the sand, and the first storm washed it away. Now let's look at a different kind of warfare, the intimate kind, the kind the Source calls gaslighting or reality manipulation. A woman we'll call Sarah was in a 10-year relationship. Her partner was a master of what the Source calls the double victory, hurting her and then making her feel guilty for noticing. He knew her insecurities, he knew her wounds, and he weaponized them. If she brought up a clear instance of his cruelty, he would use a devastating precision. You're remembering that wrong. That never happened. Or, you're being dramatic. You're so sensitive, just like your mother. Or the most insidious, I just said that because I love you. I'm trying to help you. For years, Sarah lived in a fog of psychological confusion. She doubted her own memory. She silenced her own instincts. Her reality, her own mind, felt like it was dissolving. She had outsourced her hegemonicon, her ruling faculty. She had made her partner the validator of her own perceptions. This is the deepest kind of slavery. Her awakening was not gradual, it was a shock, a moment of absolute horrifying clarity. He had told a specific, complex lie about a financial matter. Days later, she found an email that proved, with objective, undeniable certainty, that he was lying. It wasn't about the money, it was the proof. In that moment, the entire cognitive distortion shattered. She saw the pattern. The decade of reality distortion, boundary testing, and erosion of self. She saw it not as a series of isolated misunderstandings, but as a strategy. She didn't confront him, not yet. She took a journal, a core Stoic practice, and began to write. She wrote what happened, the facts, the data. She separated the event from the interpretation. Event. He said X. My feeling, I felt confused and small. His narrative, he claimed that I am crazy. The truth. The email confirms X happened. My feeling of confusion was a rational response to a lie. His narrative is a tool of control. This simple act of separating impression from reality was the first stone laid in her new fortress. She was reclaiming her own logos. She realized that for a decade she had been assenting to the impression, my perception is invalid. Now she began to practice a new assent. My perception is mine. His words are his. They are merely noise outside the wall. It was a long, painful process of withdrawal, but it began not with a fight, but with a thought. You do not get to be the arbiter of my reality anymore. She had learned the hard lesson. You cannot ever trust another human being to be the keeper of your mind. That is your sacred duty and yours alone. So, how do we build this fortress before the attack? How do we integrate these principles so they are not just theories, but reflexes? It begins with the architecture of your mind. There are 3 core disciplines. The first, as we've discussed, is proheresis, the power of choice. You must internalize at a cellular level that you are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are the thing that observes your thoughts and feelings and chooses how to act on them. A feeling of anger rises. It is an impression. It is a visitor at the gate. You do not have to let it in. You can observe it, Ah, anger, a signal, a judgment that I have been wronged. You can then question the judgment. Have I truly been harmed? Is my character damaged, or just my preference? This is the conscious response the Source mentioned, but it is not just a response. It is a redefinition of self. When a manipulator hurls an insult, they are testing your boundaries. They are trying to find a crack in the wall. They want you to react. They want you to engage in their drama. Rage is a confession of harm. Reactivity is a confession of control. Your power is to withhold assent. To look at the insult, the lie, the manipulation, and to say, as Epictetus taught, this is an impression and not the thing it claims to represent. You can say, your opinion of me is your opinion. It is not me. Your attempt to control me is your confusion. It is not my reality. This is not passivity. It is the highest form vil of action. It is a refusal to play the game. It is a refusal to let their vice become your disturbance. The second discipline is the surgical separation of judgments from events. This is your daily mental hygiene. The event is neutral. It is gravity. It just is. He yelled at me. She lied about me. My reputation is damaged. These are facts. The pain comes from the stories we add. This is unbearable. This ruins me. This is an injustice. The Stoic trains to see only the facts. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, "Erase the story." When you feel that sting of intentional harm, you must become a surgeon. Identify the event, the fact, and cut away the judgment, the story. Story, he's gaslighting me and I'm losing my mind. Fact, he is presenting a narrative that contradicts my memory. I feel confused. The choice lies between those two statements. By choosing the second, you stay in reality. You are not a victim of gaslighting. You are a person observing a manipulation tactic. The first makes you powerless. The second makes you a scientist. From this place of clarity, you can choose a rational response, to document, to set a boundary, or to leave. But you do so from a place of power, not panic. The third discipline is what the Stoics called kataskope, or the view from above. When you are trapped in the drama, when you feel small and targeted, you must practice zooming out. Visualize yourself in your room, then see your building, your city, your continent, the earth spinning in the blackness. See the whole of human history, the empires rising and falling. Now, place your problem in that context. Place the person who harmed you in that context. See them not as a monster, but as they are, a confused, frightened, finite human being driven by flawed judgments, just like billions before them. See their shadow for what it is, a predictable, banal, and ultimately pitiable pattern of human ignorance. This is not forgiveness in the modern sentimental sense. It is clarity. It drains the venom from the encounter. How can you hate a force of nature? How can you hate a broken mechanism that is just acting according to its brokenness? You can't. You can only pity it, and then, most importantly, protect yourself from it with clear, strong boundaries. This view transforms your response. The source script said, respond with integrity instead of rage. The Stoic asks, why? You respond with integrity not to rebel or to win, but because it is the only rational thing to do. Rage is a temporary madness, as Seneca said. It is a judgment that you have been grievously harmed. The Stoic denies this judgment. When you respond with calm, truthful clarity, you're not doing it for them. You are doing it for you. You are affirming your own character. You are refusing to let their vice corrupt your virtue. Your integrity is the victory. It needs no audience. Let's return to Alex, the executive who lost everything. His downfall was not the end, it was the forge. In the depths of his depression, he found the Stoics. He began to rebuild, but this time on a different foundation. He stopped caring about his reputation and started caring for the first time about his character. He practiced voluntary discomfort, simple things like cold showers or fasting for a day or sleeping on the floor. This wasn't for health. It was to train his mind. It was to teach his body viscerally that comfort is an indifferent. He was breaking his attachment to externals. He practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Every morning, he would sit and calmly visualize losing what he had left, losing his small savings, having people insult him, getting sick. He wasn't being morbid, he was rehearsing. He was building psychological immunity. He was telling his mind, if this happens, my proheresis remains. I will still choose to act with courage. I will still choose to act with justice. I will endure. Years passed. He built a new, quieter life, a less prestigious job, but one he performed with excellence. One day, the inevitable happened. His old rival Marcus reappeared. Their industries intersected on a project, and Marcus, true to his nature, tried the same tactics. A subtle email, twisting a fact, designed to undermine Alex in front of his new colleagues. The old Alex would have felt a surge of panic and rage. The new Alex did feel something. He felt the impression, the hot flush, the old story. But this time, his training kicked in. His proheresis stepped into the gap. He looked at the email. He separated the data from the story. Data. Marcus has sent an email with a factual inaccuracy that implies I am incompetent. Story. He's trying to destroy me again. This is a disaster. He erased the story. He looked at the data and asked himself one question. What does virtue require of me now? Justice required the truth to be known, but without malice. Temperance required a calm, measured response, not an emotional outburst. Courage required him to speak up, not to shrink in fear. Wisdom required him to see Marcus for what he was, a sick man, still playing the same tired game. Alex wrote a simple, clear and brief reply. He corrected the inaccuracy factually. He attached the relevant document. He did not copy a single unnecessary person. He did not use a single emotional word. He did not defend. He did not accuse. He simply stated the truth. And then he let it go. He had done his part. The outcome, what Marcus did next, what his colleagues thought, was an external. It was not up to him. What happened was nothing. The manipulation had found no purchase. The spark had found no fuel. The cruelty, when it met the solid, non-reactive wall of Alex's internal citadel, simply dissolved. Alex hadn't won a fight. He had transcended it. He had proven that the damage never defined him. His response did. This is the ultimate rebellion. It is not healing. It is engineering. It is the conscious, deliberate construction of a character that is immune to psychological harm. So, when you feel the sting of that intentional damage, when the gaslighter tries to twist your reality, when the person who knows you best uses that knowledge as a weapon, remember, the harm is not the event. The harm is your judgment about the event. The perpetrator is not a powerful monster. They are a pitiable, ignorant victim of their own corrupted reason. Your power is not in revenge. Revenge is just you, assenting to the same false judgment that they did, the judgment that externals are worth more than virtue. Your power is in your choice, your proheresis, the sacred, inviolable space between the impression and your response. This brings us back to the parable of the locked gate. Your mind, your hegemonicon, is a fortress. You are its only guard, and you hold its only key. A manipulator, a gaslighter, an abuser, they are like a person standing outside your gate. They can shout. They can tell you the gate is open. They can tell you the fortress is on fire. They can tell you that they are inside and you are outside. They can throw rocks at the walls. They can mimic the voices of your friends. They can tell you that you are worthless and that you deserve to be besieged. But they cannot get in. Not unless you assent to their impression, not unless you believe the lie. The moment you believe your reality is less real than theirs, you are unlocking the gate and inviting them in to tear the place apart, to respond with integrity, to see their lies as data and not truth, to see their cruelty as their sickness and not your definition. That is keeping the gate locked. The full force of their malice will crash against your walls and find no entry. They will exhaust themselves, they will move on, and you will remain inside in the quiet, orderly, and invincible citadel of your own mind. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become in response to what happened to you. This is the foundation. This is the architecture of the unshakable mind. But a fortress once built must be provisioned. It must be prepared not just for the current attack, but for all future storms. It needs a clear view of the horizon. In our next conversation, we will explore the great Stoic discipline of premeditatio malorum, the art of negative visualization. This is not pessimism. It is the ultimate psychological insurance. It is the advanced practice of anticipating the storm, not with fear, but with preparation. It is how you learn to lose everything so that nothing can ever be taken from you.